Maharaj.
Yes.
Yesterday, Govinda Maharaj
Yes.
and we were speaking, and we were talking about our Guru Maharaj as Shaktavesh Avatar.
Yes.
And so he mentioned that you had said previously about Baladev, Nityananda Prabhu.
Yes. That is the Guru Tattva.
Yeah.
Generally, Guru Tattva, Baladev and Nityananda in general. What propaganda works, they are in the highest office of propagation generally. So I took it that especially Nityananda Prabhu has some special recognitions from the section from which Swami Maharaj has come. Special grace for that particular section. It is mentioned in the scriptures we find. And Pratyar about Gauranga.
What section?
That's Swarnavanik.
Swarnavanik.
They are the most favorite section of Nityananda Prabhu. It is mentioned in the Shastra, Chaitanya Bhagavata. So, I thought Nityananda Prabhu in charge of preaching about Mahaprabhu glory. And so I took it that Nityananda Prabhu must have some special dedication in him in his last days, which helped him to inundate in such a inconceivable magnitude the whole of the world.
Yes.
But that does not mean that he was nothing before such delegated power came in him, that he was nothing. That delegation may come in a proper place. Just as in other Shaktavesh avatar, the Shakti accepts a particular place, and that is not anything and everything, an ordinary thing. Must be proper for that, to receive that. That is one thing. Another, to preach that when the delegation consideration has come, so without delegation he has no value of his own. That is some willful propaganda, and that will defeat his own object. What is that thing? Does it mean that the one where the delegation will come, it will be some empty or some bad thing? This supposition is mischievous, and that will those that will take out of my statement of delegation, they will do mischief for their own people.
Yes.
By falsely propagating in this way. Yeah. That was his purpose. It is very difficult to arouse faith in man, and this sort of statement will diminish the faith, will prepare the faith for the atheists.
Yes.
So this is suicidal to propagate in that line. And the Shakya is also not to be neglected. The Dasa Goswami, who is thought to be the highest, to hold the highest position of Madhurasa, Prayojanacharya. He himself says, Sokhaya me namastu namastu nittam, dasyaya me rasastu rasastu sattam. What does it mean? Who's rushing where angels fear to tread? Is it an intellectual field that we can pass resolution, we can pass remark in any way we like in our passion? Das Goswami, who is supposed to is posted in the highest position of the Prayojan Tattva, the Acharya of the Prayojan, and Madhur Rasa Radhadasya, he says that Dasyaya me rasastu and Sokhaya me namastu. I am trying to show my reverence to the Sokha, and I crave that my real earnestness may go for the Dasya Rasa. It is a thing to play. Radharani herself, she wants that my attention is always to serve. But because Krishna wishes to enjoy me, he enjoys. But my ideal is always to serve him. The service is also this Santa Rasa, this Payana Munayo Rajan Devita Vidhisedatha Narkanasta Ramantisma Gunanu Kathani Hari. This is Santa Rasa in Bhagavatam. Padmaramaśya Munayo Narkanthayo Purukkame Kudbantahi Tugrim Bhaktim Ittam Bhuto Guno Hari. These are examples of Santa Rasa. This is very rarely to be found. We must go to that plane, and then we should deal with things. So that's just the opposite. The Madhur Rasa, even Radharani herself, she says that my always tendency to serve Krishna, to us Dasya Rasa. Dasya Rasa. Then what of Dasya? Then Sokha is a very small thing. What is this? Dasyaya me Sokhaya namastu namastu. From a distance, I want to show my respect. I want to show my respect to Sokha Rasa. And Dasya Rasa I really want. That should be the tendency of a real devotee. And to disregard all these things, there is a thing to play like a ball. Play ball, all these things. হরিজন যাচ্ছা কত দূর সপ্তাহে লাগে বল হরি বল বল হরি
So as Govinda Maharaj and I were discussing,
yes.
He gave this one example
Yes.
of of Basu.
Huh?
Basu.
বসু
Yes.
ভাসুরের সামনে যেমন ভাদরবহু সে আপনার ঘোমটা টানে, সেই রকম যেখানেতে আচার্যের কাজ করতে যাচ্ছেন স্বামী মহারাজ, সেখানেতে নিত্যানন্দ প্রভু এবং বলদেবের সম্বন্ধটাই তার খুব বেশি তাকে করেছে আর কি, প্রভাবিত করেছে। সেই অবস্থাতে তার সখ্যরসের প্রকাশটাই হচ্ছে গিয়ে সবচেয়ে বড়। এইটাই আমি বলেছিলাম কালকে আজ, যে তাই বলে তার কি রস সেটা ওইটা দিয়ে বিচার করা যাবে না, এটা বলেছি। যে মধুর রসের সঙ্গে যে তখন বলদেব রয়েছেন, সেখানে ভাসুর সম্পর্ক হয়ে যায়, এইরকম ভাবে জিনিসটা বলেছি আমার।
In Mahaprabhu also we find sometimes Mahaprabhu himself, there was such abish. Sometimes by the influence of Baladev, give me wine, give me wine. In Chaitanya Bhagavata we find that Mahaprabhu sometimes he showed a different inspired stage. When he was captured by the feeling of Baladev, then he said, give me wine, give me wine, give me wine. They gave some Ganges water. You take it. Sometimes even he was inspired with the feeling of Pradyumna. यदि प्राण जाए प्रभु का ये बाप कृष्ण राखी देन प्राण एवे प्राण जाए बुझी জ্যাঠা বলরাম এইভাবে
মারিলেন প্রাণ রাখিলেন জ্যাঠা বলরাম
Mahaprabhu, inspired by the feeling of Pradyumna, he is uttering like a madman. I can't stand, I can't take rest from dancing mood. Some inspired power is making me dance like a madman. I am gone, I can't take rest in this way, he says. Bhava Krishna Rakhilan Pran, by the inspiration of Krishna, anyhow I was saved. But when
Marilan Pran.
Bhava Krishna Rakhilan Pran, but when the inspiration has come from Balaram, now I am gone, I can't continue myself but dancing. But I feel too tired. That was his ukti. That sort of feeling of, that is Baladev. Jatha Balaram. He is, and Jatha means elder brother of father. So Pradyumna, Jatha is Balaram. So Mahaprabhu is attacked by that feeling of Pradyumna, Abhiman. And he says, Jatha Balaram is almost killing me. Indeed. So inspiration may come different time for different purpose. Even Mahaprabhu himself has shown that so many inspiration of different types coming to him and going away. These are the transcendental law or will of the Lord, in other words. So Satyavesh is not a very thing for the play of the child, of the children, childish play, Satyavesh. Very belittled and very much mortified that the remark Satyavesh that is being used in such a mean way, Satyavesh, a childish thing. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And the Dasharas, Sakharas, as all these very cheap, and we can degree and dismiss anything at our sweet way. Poor conception of the reality that can make us audacious to pass such remarks. Hare Krishna. The love of power, is making mad to take any path or the other. But that will be suicidal, that will dig his own grave.
দাদা রানী খুশি হবে বিচার নিয়ে
It is clear that is our Sampradaya, Rupanuga Sampradaya, and that Sampradaya, that mantram, the mantram, also that is wedded to Madhur Rasa. All the mantram and the selection or coming to Prabhupada, Rupanuga. The Guru Parampara, all Rupanuga, Madhur Rasa. But for the propaganda work, some temporary delegation
Yes.
at the time being to inundate the whole country, that came in my mind. They may not care for that.
Yes.
They may not care. It is my consideration, I gave it out. If anyone may think in that way, may do, or else it is, I am not forcing it towards the unwilling batch.
Yes.
It is my special estimation that something might have happened
Yes.
like that. When I came to take my shelter here, I thought that I am going to take my permanent shelter in Navadvip Dham. But Navadvip Dhameshwar is Nityananda Prabhu. So I must go to him first. Birthplace of Mahaprabhu. I went to Ekachakra first to seek his permission that I like to pass the last days of my life in Navadvip Dham. Please, you give permission. Otherwise it will, my attempt will be futile. So I went to him and invoked for his permission. And as if with his permission I came and settled here. Dhameshwar is he. Though my aspiration is innately towards Madhur Rasa, but still I went to Nityananda Prabhu to give me admission here that the rest of my life I may pass. Anonitai Vinivai Radha Krishna. By the grace of Nityananda we shall get the grace of Mahaprabhu, and by the grace of Mahaprabhu we can enter into Madhur Rasa and Radharani, all these things. That is our way, chalked out by our spiritual masters. And we have got great regard for that. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
And sometimes I've heard it said that if you want to get the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, you should approach the Jagai and Madhai.
কি বলছেন এরা?
বলছেন যে মহাপ্রভু নিত্যানন্দ প্রভুর কৃপা যদি কেউ লাভ করতে চায় সর্বপ্রথমে জগায় মাদায়ের মতন লোক উদ্ধার করতে হবে। জগায় মাদায় এর মতন লোক যে আছে পৃথিবীতে সে সমস্ত লোক
And that the difference of Jagai and Madhai, that is also who had no achar, no vichar, neither real conception of divinity nor any holy practices, pure practices, and that were all delivered in great number, and there it attracts us to think at the presence of Nityananda Prabhu.
Yes.
Nityananda Prabhu's presence. Why? There are so many who had no such pure achar and vichar. They were taken to direct to the higher position. So the potency, the great mercy of Nityananda is to be located there. So what I have said, that is also is corroborated, as you say. Is it not?
Yes.
He himself told me, Swami Maharaj, I have taken them from a country where no question of any food, any restriction, of the consideration of purity or impurity of food, nothing of the kind, and also that of sex. So from that we have come then to you all. So much I have done, and you must give attention to them properly. Must not be unmindful to them. Of course, he told me, I can't deny. Not only once, but several times he repeated this to me. I have done so much, and you must be sympathetic to them. They are recruited from such land. I have no consideration of all these things. So this is from Nityananda. This is shows that Nityananda's presence in him. Anyhow, it was suggested in my mind. They may take or not take. It doesn't matter what to do. I am innocent and sincere in my remark in that way, as I have conjectured. I could conjecture. Hare Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Nidai.
Maharaj, sometimes our Guru Maharaj used to chant the verse Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Shayam Rupa Kataf Mahyam Dadati Sha Padantikam. So, can you explain what that verse means?
Yes, Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale. The real part of Sri Chaitanya Dev was established by whom in this art. He is my Gurudev. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam, what Sri Chaitanya Dev wanted to do in this art, Manobhishtam, he minded to do in this art, Chaitanya Manobhishtam, Sthapitam Jena Bhutale, and that was propagated in this world. What Sri Chaitanya willed, and that was translated into action in this world by whom? That he is Gurudev. Manosthapitam Jena Swayam Rupa. Swayam Rupa. This is in the line of Madhura Rasa. Swayam Rupa, Rupa Goswami. Swayam Rupa. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Swayam Rupa Kadamajjham Dadati Shapadantikam. When about that Rupa Goswami will attract me near his feet. That is the literal meaning. What Chaitanya Dev wanted to do, that has been done by Rupa Goswami. And when that day, fortunate day will come, when he will attract me near his feet, Rupa Goswami. This Swayam Rupa that does not mean Swayam Rupa Bhagavan, Krishna. The propagation is not his business.
So I am Rupa.
Huh?
So I am Rupa. Kadamujhu.
So I am.
So I am Rupa.
Don't they say Bhapala অনুসার নয়?
না আমার তো সোয়াম রূপ কদামুজ্জুম।
দেখো
কোথায় আছে?
Swayam.
ওই ইয়েতে থাকবে, অর্চন কনেতে থাকবে, অর্চন কনে। অর্চন কনেতে যে প্রণাম মন্ত্র আছে তার মধ্যে এটা পেয়েছি আমি প্রথমে। শ্রী চৈতন্য মনোভীষ্টম, এটা বলে নরোত্তম ঠাকুরের লেখা।
আর নিচেরটা নাই।
হ্যাঁ,
ডাক্তারের কাছে গেছিলাম তো,
মানে ও কত দাম নিচ্ছে?
দাম 7 টাকা হয়ে গেছে আমাদের।
Who composed that verse?
who composed, as far as I remember, by Narottam
ধারা আছে।
হ্যাঁ,
পবনজীবন আমাকে
বোধ হয় না।
তাহলে ডাক্তারকে বলে আসবো আবার।
হ্যাঁ, আসবার জন্য বলে আসুন। যখন সে বলেছে দেখতে হবে তখন 200 টাকা। Swayam Rupa, Govinda Maharaj says that the reading is not Swayam Rupa, Rupa himself. Swayam Rupa means Rupa himself.
Yes.
Swayam Rupa, that Rupa, that Rupa.
So,
That is Ayam, Swayam Rupa. That Rupa. Sri Chaitanya Manuvishtam Sthapitam Jetna Bhutale. That Rupa who has installed here the what was desired by Sri Chaitanya Dev, when such Rupa will take me near his feet, draw me to take my position near his feet, that is the verse. অর্চন কনেতে,
অর্চন কোন এখানে তো না।
অর্চন কণ্ঠে আপনার অর্চন কণ্ঠ বোধহয় ঠাকুর ঘরে আছে,
গৌরীয় কান্তাহারের মধ্যে আছে।
গৌরীয় কণ্ঠহারে থাকতে পারে।
গৌরীয় কান্তাহারের মধ্যে স্বয়ং লেখা আছে।
স্বয়ং
স্বয়ং।
দন্ত স্বয় বাফলা স্বয়ং সৎ, স্বয়ং রূপ। স্বয়ং রূপ হিমসেলফ। স্বয়ং রূপ মিন্স রূপ হিমসেলফ। আর স্বয়ং রূপ, দ্যাট রূপ, দ্যাট রূপ
চৈতন্যতে নেই।
মনে হয় না। আমি তো অর্চন কনেতে পড়েছিলাম, অর্চন করবার সময় এইটা আমার মনে আছে। শ্রী চৈতন্য মনোভীষ্টম স্থাপিতং যেন ভূতলে। চৈতন্যতে থাকলে আপনি শ্লোক সূচি দেখলেই পাবেন, যদি কোটেশন থাকে কোনো শ্লোক সূচি দেখতে পারেন। চৈতন্য মনোভীষ্ট অত্যন্ত মধুর রস, যেন অনর্পিত চরণ চিরাত। আর তারপরে নিত্যানন্দ প্রভু যেসব করছেন এগুলো হল স্প্রেড ওয়ার্ক, মোটামুটি জেনারেল একটা ওই দিকে নিয়ে এসে গৌরাঙ্গের কাছে পৌঁছে দেয়া। নিত্যানন্দ's duty is to take an ordinary person to Gauranga, and the Gauranga came to take them to Brajlila. Yatha Yatha Gaura. Nityananda Prabhu preached about Gauranga. You could not reach so high. You just come to Gauranga. That will be the easy thing. Anyhow, he tries his best to take persons to the feet of Gauranga. And then you will get it. Yatha Yatha Gaura Padaravindi, Kriyeta Bhaktin Katapunna Rashi, Tatha Tatut Satpati Siddhakasram, Radha Padam Bhuri Sudham Burasi. Automatically you will be led to Radharani. That is Prabodhananda Sastra. Mahaprabhu asked Nityananda to go and preach about Krishna in Gauradesh, Bengal. But Nityananda Prabhu came and he began to preach Sri Chaitanya Dev, not Krishna, direct. Shortcut. Anyhow come to Gauranga. And the rest, as the rest, Gauranga will see for you.
Maharaj, in Chaitanya Bhagavat says that when Lord Chaitanya sent him, there were 12 persons with him. 12 pracharaks.
Where?
Dwadas pracharak with Nityananda Prabhu.
Dadash Gopal.
What is the Dwadas Prabhu?
They are assistants. They are Dadash Gopal in Brjo. Nityananda was Baladev, and the other Sokhorasa group in Vrindavan. They came here, and they are known as Dadash Gopal, 12 intimate friends of Nityananda or Baladev. With their help, Nityananda began to preach here.
Maharaj, where is that verse? About Dasayam? Is it Dasayam?
Dashaya.
Sakya Namostu? What is it?
It may be Vida Kusumanjali perhaps, of Raghunath Das Goswami. This verse is made by Raghunath Das. Dashaya mein. Dashaya mein rasastu satyam. Sokhaya mein namostu. I am not up to mark of serving in the Lord in the confidential way of Sukha. That is higher. That is too much for me. My aspiration is to anyhow to get a position amongst the servants of the Lord. I pray that my real, my sincere tendency be towards the service towards of a servant, and never to such a higher degree as to render confidential service to the Lord. I have no such audacity. So Sokhorasa, he says, who is he? Now, who is considered to be the Acharya of the highest Madhura Rasa, Prayojan Acharya, Dasa Raghunath Das. He says that I pray that I may not have any audacity to come into the confidential servants of Krishna. But I pray that my sincere flow may go to the ordinary servant group. That I pray. I pray. Rasastu. Satyam. That my attraction, really my attraction may go to there, may go there, in the lowest rank.
Yes. And Uddhava,
Yes.
this Ashamaho Charanarenu Jashamaham Sham.
Oh.
So he's praying Gulma to be like a creeper, or
He aspires after a birth of a creeper shrub in Vrindavan, so that automatically the feet dust of the gopis may come over them. Asamahu charanari nivishamaham san Vrindavani kimapi kulamalato sutita dadustajam sajanam archa pathan chitta bhejud mukunda padaving sati bhedbhimikam. Gaur Hari Gaur. Jai Chaitanya. Jai. কি? শ্রী চৈতন্য মনোভীষ্টম। হ্যাঁ, সেটা পুজো ইয়ে তো আমি তো তাই পেয়েছি, আমার যতদূর মনে হয় যে ওই আপনি দেখুন ইয়ে ঘরে তো অর্চন করা আছে, ঠাকুর ঘরে খুব সম্ভব।
Chaitanya Gopi Batur Padakamalayur Dasa Dasanudaso.
Gopi Bhattu Padakamalayur Dasa Dasa. Naham Vipru na Chandrapatit na Pipashu na Sudra. Naham Bhatni na Chakriyapatit na Vanastu Yatidva. Kintu Pradhan Nishida Paramanandapu na Matavadi. Gopi Bhattu Padakamalayur Dasa Dasanudaso.
What is the explanation of that? What is the explanation?
Explanation?
Yes.
I am neither a Brahmin, Naham Vipro, Nacha Narapati, Varnashram. He is describing Varnashram. Eto sab chhariar Varnashram dharma. The living, abandoning, living away the Varnashram dharma going up. I am neither a Brahmin, nor a Kshatriya, nor a Vaishya, nor a Shudra. My identification is not with any of them. Then neither Brahmachari, nor Grihastha, nor Vanaprastha, nor Sannyasi. Varna and Ashrama. Four Varna and four Ashrama. I am none of them. But what is my real identification? I am a person who has got the highest sincere aspiration for the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. That position of whom into Pradhan Nikhila Paramanda Purna, that conscious, ecstatic embodiment who can command the whole of the universe, of the infinite. That also ecstatic joy embodiment. Pradhan Nikhila Paramanda Purna. That sort of who is he? The Gopi Bhatta, the master of the gopis, the paramount of the gopis, lover of the gopis, Padakamalayur Dasana. I am the servant of the servant of the servant of the. I told once that this is like a telescopic system in Vaikuntha. In telescope, generally in spectacle, it comes between the seer and the seen, the spectacle. Generally it may thought that it will hamper the sight, but it improves. So in telescope, so many glasses are placed. Apparently it may be thought that so many glasses must disturb the real sight, but no, that help them. They help them. So as many glass, so far we can see. So master, guardian. They take something and from some distance, they take some distance. Even many guardians will help me from a far off, very fine thing, they will help me to bring in my sight. Do you follow?
Yes.
So Gopi Bhattu Padakam, Daso, then his servant, I want. He says that this is the real clue to take advantage of the telescopic system. So much the kripa, the grace of the first, second, third, fourth, so many gurus, the kripa that will come from so many gurus that will help me. So don't go up, but try to go down, then you will be benefited much. That is the direction. In the Ramanuja section also there is a Vritta Paricharaka Vritta Imam Saralokanam. The real devotees, they are there who know the real clue. They don't want to go up. They really realize that to go down, to become the servant of God, as much as I go down, I will get greater benefit. This is peculiar thing in Vaikuntha. The land of exploration, we want to be master. But the land of service, namely the land of service. So we must not be afraid of the service. The serving, that is the real nectar. Serving. Service, service of real quality. Service, total quality. Here, service are all related things of exploitation, parts of exploitation in different ways. But there, the land of pure service, and the service is the capital. So, like a contractor, as many business he can capture, he may make more money, more gain. So, as many masters we shall be able to gather, we might be so rich and so gainer, so much gainer. We will be as many masters we shall have. And here the opposite country, as many servants I shall get, I will be able to do many works through them. But there the opposite. As many masters I shall get, I shall derive benefit from so many directions. My income will come from so many directions. Service is like the opposite thing to be understood, to be felt. The service from the field of exploitation, we cannot have a real conception of what service is. Service is life-giving. That is beneficial. That is not a burden. That is real help. That is sustainer. Service. So there is competition that I shall become servant of the servant of the servant in this way. This is not sincere, this is not so. Neither this is a fashion, of polite modesty. It is the reality that by serving we thrive, and receiving service we go down. So Vaishnavas generally do not allow to serve them. But they are eager to serve, but not to give their service to others. That is the very nature. The gain is there. কোথায়?
সিদ্ধান্ত মহারাজের বইতে আছে, ওখানে দু রকমের দিচ্ছেন, স্বয়ং রূপ এবং স্বয়ং রূপ।
স্বয়ং রূপ, স্বয়ং, that রূপ।
দু রকমের দিয়েছেন, স্বয়ং রূপ and স্বয়ং রূপ।
স্বয়ং রূপ মানে রূপ গোস্বামী
স্বয়ং, yes,
আর স্বয়ং মানে স্বয়ং, সেই এই রূপ যিনি মনোভীষ্ট স্থাপন করেছেন, সেই এই রূপ তিনি আমাকে চান,
কখন আমাকে তার নিজের পাদ পদ্মেতে প্রদান করবেন। কদা মধ্যং দদাতি স্বপদান্তিকম দদাতি।
হরে কৃষ্ণ। বিদায় বিদায়। স্বামী মহারাজ অস্ট্রেলিয়াতে একটা লেকচার দিয়েছিলেন, যে কাটিং এখানে হয়েছিল। স্বামী মহারাজ when he
in Australia,
when he just came down from the plane and going away, so many newspaper
Reporters.
Newspaper reporter and put many questions. And one of them I remember, he was saying, your mission is maintained by the output of the sale of your books or something like that. How you get the money to maintain your mission? He simply told, yes. And you sell the body and you live on that. Sell the books and live on that. And I am giving you books and you are giving money to me. And this way I go on. He did not come to the point of selling that Brahma Vidya is taken into market for sale. They avoided that. I am giving you books and you are giving money. In this way it is going on. The simple thing.
Yes.
The simple thing is this. What I say sincerely and as I think, as I heard from Guru Maharaj, and accordingly collected from the books. And if you have any attraction for that, you will love me. What I say, if that attracts anybody, then he will be affectionate to me. It's an easy thing. No other complication should be taken. Yeah. This is. As I say, it is pleasing. You think it is the desired thing. What Swami Maharaj told, this sayings also of similar nature. What he said, this is also of similar nature. The words that attracted us towards him, the meaning containing in his words, which attracted us, we find the same thing here. So this is our place of attraction. It's a simple thing. Whoever will appreciate. This is the words, the thing, the subject is not of mine, my Gurudev. And he would say it is from his Gurudev in this way. Gauranga. We came to Gaudiya Mount. Why? Attracted by the charm and the realistic, spiritually realistic substance of the subject matter, and as it was dealt by our Guru Maharaj, attracted us. No other things. Attracted by the spirit of his advice, we joined the mission. And as long as it did, and that was. Of course, we also read scriptures also, but the standpoint we get from him, and with that light we tried to understand, and we did understand. This is our impression. He gave us key to the scriptural. Sindhu ke ki bole?
Ocean.
Safe. The key to the Almira, where spiritual books are. Guru Maharaj gave us, supplied the key. So with that standpoint, that angle of vision, we've gone through other scriptures also. And we are satisfied, we are attracted more and more. And now we are doing that thing. Scripture is there, and different interpretations are also there. From Shankara, Ramanuja, this, that, many. But the angular vision that was given in the line of Mahaprabhu by our Guru Maharaj, that attracted us really. And we are his servants. And we are his servants, or servants of the servants of the servants. That is nothing else. By Mat, I am there, and it is the words, Vaikuntha Sabda, the name and sound representation of the Lord. Through sound, the sound is the medium, and Savan Kirtan, the sound, so the medium of sound. What news come to my heart, that has captured me, that has taken me, and in consonance with that, I shall move. Anyone who will come to help in that way, in that journey, he is my friend. And who hinders, he is no longer so. The main thing, the response of my heart to the sound aspect of the Lord. The author. Padalman Paritaj Mam Ekam Saranam Bhaja Aham Tang Sarvapapi Pumusaisha. I sometimes tell that when Aurobindo, he absconded. Aurobindo, he was the founder of the revolutionary school of India in the beginning. But the one Mr. Norton, there was a case, Aurobindo is not found. Then Norton was pleading in the High Court. Where is Mr. Aurobindo? He told in a newspaper, when he found any article, here is Mr. Aurobindo. He told. Here is Mr. Ghosh. This writing, it cannot but be of him. So sound, that style of the sound, the meaning, that can locate us where we are. What was our interest, the earth for which we are out. The charming representation of the Lord through sound. Gaur Hari Bol, the friend and the foe. So many father, mother, son, so many kinsmen, they become enemy to a religious man. And who was unknown, he may be friend. That is the elimination, acceptance and elimination. Progress means this. The son accepts acceptance and elimination. That is goti. Progress means that. Elimination of the member. Then when we are finally settled, then fixed circle there. The Guru, they all comes to help me, and by as an order supplier, I may work there. And I shall think, if I am utilized in the post of order supplier, I have attained my destination. I have come to such a position here. Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari. Nidai.
So Maharaj,
Oh yes.
our Sukriti determines our inner interest.
Sukriti of two kinds. First Ajnata Sukriti, then Gnata Sukriti. And Sukriti makes us float on the surface and help us to recognize the proper thing. That is, it comes from Nirguna, and it helps us to make us understand what is Nirguna. Unconsciously draws us towards that. First unconsciously, then consciously draws us towards Nirguna. Saguda means local provincialism. Nirguna means of infinite consideration. The finest and most fundamental plane is Nirguna. And I want to be a member of that plane. The wave I shall receive and I shall respond. That is in Nirguna. To move, to live and move in the Nirguna plane. To receive instruction and to do accordingly. And the Nirguna plane. Giving up all local prejudice. All local prejudice. Krishna Bangshi, that sound will make us cry, make us dance, make us sleep, everything. The intimation of that plane, wave of that plane. Then I am Nirguna. I have no selfish suffering or enjoying. All enjoying. All enjoying. Plane. The joyous plane, Nirguna. And no responsibility of my own. Purely, wholly harmonized or adjusted with the universal will. That is Krishna Loka, without caring for laws and the rules even. Nothing but Krishna satisfaction. Just to be that wave, the direction of that wave, no consideration of anything else. That is Nirguna. Guna means disease. Sattarajatama, Bhavaroga. This is a diseased part of the world, this Brahmanda. That is, disease generally may be classified as sprung up from exploitation or renunciation. Exploitation and renunciation. Then service, constitutional according to law. And then automatic, actuated by the motive of love. That is Nirguna, the highest plane of Bhajya. Uddhava aspires after that. And there also highest quarter is that of the gopis. So much sacrifice, so much intensely none could catch or accept the Nirguna will of Krishna. Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari. And Ramananda Rai, the last, step by step approaching towards the highest. The last, I do not know anything, only actuated by the motive. By the attraction I am guided. I do not know right and wrong and nothing of the kind. Yes, Swami Maharaj told, we are giving books, they are giving money. Krishna demand coming, I am supplying. I do not know anything else. I do not want also to know anything else. His demand, my supply. Only I am conscious of this fact, nothing else. I don't care for anything else. His Bangshi, his Bangshi Ninad, I am madly running. These two things. I am not conscious of myself or the paraphernalia, favorable, unfavorable. The call, I am running. I don't know anything else. The absolute position is such. the autocratic rule in its highest conception. Autocratic rule in the highest conception. The autonomy is such intense autonomy and autocracy. That is desirable for Advaita. Advaita, Advai, in its highest conception, will be like that. And Vilasama, a dynamic Advaita. Advaita not static, equilibrium, but moving, dynamic Advaita. Advaita and the dynamic. That is like the call, yes, that is Advaita. No difference between the caller and the supplier. Meaning on demand. That is Advaita. Advaita. Dynamic. And the real plane of satisfaction, joy, ecstasy, whatever is there. Is there. That is the depot. The absolute depot of Anandam, the Utsav, satisfaction, relief, whatever it may be called. The depot Anandam, beauty, beauty behaves in its own land in such a way. The law of beauty is such, does not care for anything else. Capturing, that is the only capacity, attribute of beauty. And the captured are mad. Whatever is wanted, it does that. Autonomy. Advaita in its highest position, highest degree. Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur. Nidai. আমার কিছুদিন আগে মনে হচ্ছিল একজন গোবিন্দ মহারাজ নরোত্তম ঠাকুর যে নিতাই বলে কমল লিখেছেন না, এটাই অদ্বৈত স্কুল দিকে লক্ষ্য করে। ওরা এখানে চিন্তাইকে নাম জানি বিদ্যার বড়াই করে এখানে কষাইগিরি করত, তাদিকে লক্ষ্য করে আমার ওইটা লেখা। বিদ্যাগুলি কি করিবে তা, সেই পশু বড় দুরাচার। নিতাইকে না মানলে কিছুই না, পাকা। Without Nityananda, everything is vacant. Bhagavati, its position is such. Nitayar Karuna হবে Braja Radha Krishna. Nitay. You don't know who gave you birth. Something like that. You don't know your mother. You don't know your mother who has given you birth. So, to be indifferent to Nityananda is like that. Without Nityananda, no admission in the... ধন্যবাদ ভাই।
কি করেন, কি আপনি কি করেন?
এটাও আমি করতে পারি। চেয়ার না, চেয়ার না, আসুন। আচ্ছা, আচ্ছা। নিদায় 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 নিদায়। Arthuyam Brahmasutranam, Srimad Bhagavatam, about Srimad Bhagavatam, this has been related. Arthuyam Brahmasutranam, this is the meaning of Vedanta Sutra. Arthuyam Brahmasutranam, Bharatartha Vinirnaya. And the Mahabharata has been, it is drawn, the real meaning of Mahabharata to be such, Srimad Bhagavatam. Bharatat Vinina Gayatri Bhashyaruposho. Srimad Bhagavatam is the elaborate explanation of Gayatri. So Gayatri has to come to the line of Srimad Bhagavatam. And this Garuda Puran, it is mentioned. Vedartha Paribringhita, and all the meanings from the Veda has been given here in full-fledged form in Bhagavatam. So, Nigamakalpatarur Gaditam Phalam. The full-fledged form of theism in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is drawn from the Vedas. So in the line of Bhagavata, the Gayatri must come, and Bhagavatam, the highest gift of Bhagavatam is Radha Dasya, Gopi Dasya, and that must have to come from Gayatri. So in that way it has been evolved. Prajnana Lidapuram. In Prapanna Jivanamritam you have got, and just on the cover you will find that in sloka. একটা লাইন কেবল বাদ দেয়া হয়েছে, আমি এটা বাদ সাজিয়ে দেন। ওই ধীমহি শব্দের অর্থ যেটা একটা লাইন ছিল সেইটা দেয়া নেই, মানে তো যদবা করে দেয়া হয়েছে, তো আইদার অর করে দেয়া হয়েছে ডেভেলপমেন্ট।
যাত্ম বিভবই কারাধনা শ্রীপুরম ভর্গজ্যোতি রচিন্ত লীলন সুধৈ কারাধনা শ্রীপুরম ভর্গো ধাম তরঙ্গ খেলন সুধৈ কারাধনা শ্রীপুরম ভর্গো ধাম সদা নিরস্ত কোকং প্রজ্ঞান লীলা দেবশ্যামৃত রূপ লীল রসধের আরাধি প্রেষিণ দেবশ্যামৃত রূপ লীল পুরুষস্যারাধি প্রেষিণ দেবস্য দ্যুতি সুন্দরৈক পুরুষস্যারাধি প্রেষিণ गायत्री मुरलिष्ठ कीर्तन धनंग राधा पदंग धीमहि गायत्री गति तंग महाप्रभु मतंग राधा पदंग धीमहि।
ওটা একটা অন্যায় আর একটা বাংলা এইটা করা দরকার।
Shoti Maharaj Jaragram থাকেন?
No. Because we have extensive study, more than Misal. Only he has got.
He's in Jaragram. Jaragram.
Jhargram. কখন কোথায় থাকেন ঠিক নেই। Anyhow, his place is Jhargram. You can write a letter to him. সতী মহারাজ ভুল হয়েছে, অসংলগ্ন জান মিশন 5 মাসের ছোট, অঘ্রান পৌষ মাঘ ফাগুন 4 মাসের ছোট, 5 months younger.
Only
month. আমার হলো বীরচন্দ্র প্রভুর দিন আর ওর হলো প্রভুপাদের দিন,
4-5 মাস ডিফারেন্স।
4 মাসের ডিফারেন্স।
Is Maharaj's relative? Relative?
Who?
Maharaj
God beta देगा। Chapahati, Gaur Gadadhar Mutt, Chapahati is in Ritudji, Gaur Gadadhar Mutt. He is the Mutter of Prabhu.
Mutt command
Prabhu.
in charge of the service of Gaur Gadadhar. কৃষ্ণ কার সঙ্গে আলাপ করছে চিত্রম বেদান্ত সূত্র। The credit is there. The credit of the absolute is here. Viruddha samannam, to harmonize the opposites. Tasmin no chittam. That is not wonderful, not strange there. It is nature. By nature he is so that he can harmonize. He harmonizes opposites of different nature and different stage. Bahu and one. Bahu, many and one. Plurality and unity. Plurality means diversity. রবি ঠাকুর বলেন যে ওদের কি মন্ত্র ছিল ব্রাহ্মদের? শান্তং শিবং অদ্বৈতং। ওদের হল পিস। রাশিয়ার সঙ্গে যেমন ট্রিটি করেছে, ফার্স্ট হলো পিস, তারপরে সেকেন্ড হলো না, আমি রাশিয়ার কথাটা বলছি, রাশিয়া আর ইন্ডিয়ার মধ্যে একটা ট্রিটি হয়েছে। প্রথম হলো গিয়ে পিস, তারপরে কোঅপারেশন না পিস, তারপর মাঝখানে আরেকটা দিয়েছে, দিয়ে তারপরে মিউচুয়াল হেল্প না কোঅপারেশন এই দিয়েছে। তেমনি শান্তং পিস ফার্স্ট, নেক্সট হচ্ছে শিবং মঙ্গলং, and then Advaitam in one vanishes. This is Brahma formula. The Brahma Dharma formula is this: Shantam Shivam Advaitam. First peace and then Mangalam, and then Advaitam, nothing, all it. Santang Shivam Advaita. Ours is Santang Shivam Sundaram. Satyam Shivam Sundaram. Satyam, truth and goodness and beauty. Progressing. Beauty is the original, then the outcome is above goodness is beauty, harmony. In English term, Anandam means harmony. And that is the conception of truth. Truth developed into Shivam, into Mangalam, that is auspicious, good. And then Sundaram, charming, charming. Krishna, Krishna, Gaur Hari. Jnanatimirandhasya jnananjanasalaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave namaha. The eye is opened by Gurudev. See the standpoint, the angle of vision is supplied by Gurudev. Angle of vision, standpoint, standard bearer. That is everything. Everything is there. Only necessary to get the angle of vision. How to see. Professor বলতেন যে খেতে তো আপত্তি নেই, খাওয়াটা শিখে খাও. There is no objection for any eating, but learn how to eat. That is prasad seva. Otherwise you will be in bondage. You will be caught in the net. Learn how to eat. Yajnavashesh. Give offer to Krishna, take the prasadam. The process of eating. Otherwise, you will be caught in the net if you devour anything. No, it is not a place of anarchy, that anyone will devour anyone. It is not a place of anarchy. The stern rules of the environment, always watching over you. And you cannot do but eating. Jivo jivasya jivanam. One jivo, one animal must devour another animal for the upkeepment of his body. So it is honorable. To eat is unavoidable for living. But learn how to eat. So not to eat, that is not the conclusion. Necessity is how to eat, learn it, how to live. Because living is painful, so do away with the life. No. Learn how to live. That is necessary. That is the constructive way. That is Vaishnava thinking. And the Buddhistic and the Mayavadi thinking, do away with the life, existence. Because life is painful and also leading to the pain, continuous pain. So do away with the life. But Vaishnava Acharya, no, life is happy. Only learn how to live. Everything is all right. You set yourself accordingly. This is especially the direction of Bhagavad Gita. Yoga karmashu kaushalam. Just learn what is the kaushal. Kaushal means the art of solution. Kaushal. Art of solution. Kausala. Kusala, the skillfulness. The art of skillfulness. Art of handling, wise handling. Kausal. Yoga. Learn yoga. The secret mystery of life. Then you will thrive. Yoga karma.